And we're live. Kicks, you're the host today. Kick things off, man.
Awesome. Great to be here. First things first, we're going to carry everybody easy. How you feeling about that Solana price?
I've never felt better. There's not ever been a day in my life where I have not felt as good as I feel today. Just purely off the speculation of the price. It is the most majestic thing I've ever seen. I've never seen something as beautiful as a $33 Solana price, even when it was $260. This feels like the most incredible thing I've ever seen. I can't possibly see today being a bad day.
I mean, I bought more yesterday on the show. Bought more Bitcoin on the show. I just keep accumulating.
Oh, dude, it's the accumulation zone. What could possibly go wrong?
It literally cannot go down. Like, that's what they're telling me. The technical analysis is telling me there's no way this price ever retraces at all. This is probably the last time it'll ever be this low.
Well,
yeah,
you know
I Googled it
and
it said it's only going up.
In the famous words of Drake, where was you when I was shooting in the gym? I think Easy's really thinking about that, right? Because down when Solana was at $8, he was shooting in the gym. You know, where was everybody at? He was on Twitter Spaces saying, buy that shit. Anyways, as the leader of today's show, we're going to be shortly going into the making of Nick's hat video, which we're going to have Nick lead on. And then we're going to be discussing Memecoin's highly anticipated pre-sale coming this evening. The low cap comeback fueled by Moonbirds, Doodles, and Clone X. And if it's safe to call the death of FriendTech. What do you think?
Oh, wow. This is a juicy
I think Kick should run the show more often. These are some really good topics. I know he came up with all of them himself. We don't rely on Clemente. Kicks had spent a long night. He lacked sleep and came up with these topics. He texted me at 3:14 a.m. and said, I got a fire show tomorrow. I was like, damn, all right, man.
Nick, is that a new jacket?
This isn't a jacket. This is called a shirt, Clemente.
It looks like a jacket. Wow, is that corduroy?
It's a corduroy jacket shirt, you know?
Oh, a shirket.
I don't know what they call these things now. I mean, it feels like a shirt, you know, and it also has a little bit of a coat vibe to it. It's a little bit of a mix. I'm getting into these things. I got 2 of them now. This is the second. I'm be honest, these things are not cheap to get, but I think they have more durability than, you know, like a regular, like just button-up shirt. Someone called it a shacket. Someone else called it a smock. I don't know what. I don't even know where smock comes from associated with this. The thing I was going to say real quick, that 17 price entry point that I had mentioned where I was like, this feels bottomish. I'm getting real pissed off about that right now because I could have just aped in like 100 grand right there.
Have you built PO for this?
Yeah, you also could have bought 50 Bored Apes at 1 ETH and sold them all for, you know, 120. We can play that game all day, you know?
Well, I'm still thinking of aping in another 50 grand right now. That's what
you won't do it. You won't do it.
That's what I'm thinking about.
You won't do it right now live on the show.
Into Solana?
Well, my bonds need to redeem here, but maybe they don't. I do have money.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely like longing a 50% breakout for sure.
Yeah. Way overbought on the Bollinger Bands, the RSI, and basically made every other major indicator. I would absolutely just ape.
It feels like a good, you know, Michael Saylor, PO's sort of priest,
notorious top buyer.
Yeah, he just says, "I'll keep buying the top."
Eventually, it won't be the top.
You know, and that's just kind of. Will I be a little bit pissed off when it retraces 50%? Yeah. I mean, you'll hear me on this show being actually like, I'll be visibly distraught on the show about how I could have saved a bunch of money, you know, by just waiting, by having a little bit of patience.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that shit. I think, you know, you saw your role a little bit, you know, I think, you know, we don't want to chase it. Everyone's screaming, you know, this is a breakout nonstop bull run. I do think we still have some upside yet, right? But it's also dependent on where we're going to go. Easy would know more than me, but Solana's getting close to like the price at where it was at right before FTX. I think $35.
It flipped it officially over the FTX sell-off as of where we are at like 32.80.
Yeah, but
which,
it spiked to 36.72 like the second before it dumped. Classic
on
crypto.
the Google news, but it traded in that range. It was like the Google announced cloud partnership at breakpoint last year, and 24 hours later, FTX collapsed. So like that was
terrible timing.
Yeah, it was trading between $30 and $33 basically for the whole
Gotcha.
week. So we're right back to those pre-FTX levels. The other thing that's more interesting though is volume and the size of buying has significantly outweighed basically the entirety of post-collapse FTX volume here.
So here's the thing that I'm interested in potentially calling here. Kicks, who's saying I don't want to buy into this 50% run up, but here's what I'm looking at. Maybe I can pull this up real quick on the screen for those that are on YouTube to see exactly what's taking place here. But the short of it is Bitcoin, the technicals are actually looking real nice on the hourly. Check out this MACD curl there, Kicks.
It's actually good. That thing's about a pop, dude.
And so
it's a little outside the Bollinger Bands though.
Sometimes it goes outside the Bollinger Bands. And so what I'm saying is this thing gets that blast off, a little blasty blast. It'll pull back maybe a little bit, but I was showing, or I was looking at I think it was the weekly, when we look at the previous breakout, look at what this looked like, how this performed. If you were waiting for the pullback,
you never got it.
Fucked, dude.
You never got it.
There was no such thing as a pullback. Yeah, dude.
So Nick, I do have a counter argument though. Pull up the DXY.
Okay, we're pulling up the DXY. For those that are listening right now, the DXY is a chart of the US dollar index. It's pulling back a little, but
I'm worried about this. This one seems
is pulling back good or bad for crypto, Easy?
Pulling
back is good for crypto because then crypto rises in the face of this. What concerns me,
it's gonna go stronger.
I think it goes higher personally here because if you look right there, we got a little EMA action. But yes, we're a breakout above that will push us to the top of the bands, which is like a 106, 107 area that I'd be looking for. So we're on this kind of cliffhanger edge, if you will, right now. That certainly has me a little bit worried. Where I want to kind of see what happens here first. And I don't mind missing a little bit more upside if the dollar rejects harder here. But this is the one I'm like very closely watching and the one that I'd rather wait to see some level of confirmation on it. Because if you even zoom out a little further, it's still making higher lows. On this recent break, it's certainly a lower low on the most recent downtrend. But overall, this thing looks strong in comparison, especially on the most recent breakout.
I mean,
well, I'll tell you what, after Nick showing me the hourly chart on Bitcoin, I'd probably 100x leverage long it here because it looks like it's going to go to 3,500 in the next 45 minutes.
3,500?
Yeah, 3,500. 35,000. 35,000. How many ever zeros it gets to be up?
This DXY chart, to Easy's point, does look a little bit treacherous. And so, man, this is a difficult position here.
So honestly, I think you up that 50K to 100K and just dump it in right now. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. If he takes that 50K, goes the roll bet 10x is at 500K size. I mean, you can be sweating.
Rollbit's not sponsoring us here, Kick.
Yeah,
so
we don't use Rollbit. We don't use Rollbit.
Shout out.
Talk about Bruno.
Pick up another stake.com.
DYDX.
Well, here, pull up the monthly here on the Bitcoin. I only trade on the monthly. As I get older, I go up and I just trade on higher and higher ranges.
You've gotten so mature over the past year. I'm very proud of you, Kix.
I'm still on the 3-minute chart.
I think Baby 2 may have been the a motivating factor there.
Yeah, I think it was. It slows things down and speeds things up. But you can see the MACD.
I don't even know what that means.
Moving average convergence, divergence, MACD flipping
You said
green.
It slows things down and speeds things up, and that's what I was talking about. I don't even.
Oh yeah, like no, literally, like this year has flown by, but then also it slows you down. Like I can't run, I can't sprint like I used to. I tried to sprint the other day, my quad was flared up for a week. But look at the top end of the Bollinger Bands right there, like just above 41. So I'd say that's like the local top right there. Ping off the top of that.
Kix is calling 40K here. So he's saying mortgage your house, take out all of your money, and throw it in Bitcoin at this point in time.
So here's the real question, right? We're looking at the monthly. You go back to that 2019, 2020, like right before the big breakout, right there, right? You see how it, if you look down at the MACD, it went from red, and then we got a couple green, and then we kind of just range there. So the question is, do we get this pattern again, or is it just like history doesn't repeat itself? We only have a sample size of 2. This thing's just going to do whatever it wants to do.
I'm gonna go with yes. You're completely correct here. What this would also, I like replication of this. Maybe it pulls back. I mean, it went as high as 12,000, pulled back as low as 3,000. So 75% retracement after that pump, and then it just blasted off. You know.
Exactly. So we could go to 40K. I'm not sure. I mean, because that was a COVID crash. I mean, maybe we get something like that again, but I could definitely see us going 40K and then back down to the yellow line, which will be around like 30K and chopping there for a while.
25. Bring it back to 25. I'm down with the 25 opportunity. OG, a commenter, doesn't like the way that the show is going right now, and I wanted to shout out to him. Go host your own show. Okay? Go host your own show. Send us the link.
This is a person that was listening to Capo and had shorts on the market. That's the energy I'm getting.
No, this person was just watching. He's or they're recalling the days when you guys brought out the bike pump and were just pumping Ethereum's price for literally 20 minutes on air.
It was a full workout.
I'll give him credit. I'll give OG credit there. That is true. Though that was a lot more just organic energy, potentially desperation. Yeah.
So that was a classic, and the views are still down on that one from the Pico top, which was like we were getting. Why am I getting this feedback right now? Stop sharing your screen, Clemente.
I think it was kicks.
I don't know what just happened there. There was some sort of feedback mechanism that messed things up. Let's dive into the next subject here, which is the making of the hat video, which is what people wanted to talk about. What were you saying, Clemente?
This is great. This is great. I was gonna say weather report, but let's talk about the hat. What questions do you have? You want to understand how to create a production?
How many slap chops did you purchase before the making of the hat video?
0, but Pio and I both watched an extreme amount of OxyClean infomercials with Billy Mays, and then we watched one of, not Slap Chop, but another one of that guy's sort of
isn't that guy in jail?
Sorry, where's that feedback coming from? I have no idea where the hell that feedback is coming from.
I think it's kicks.
That's on me. We're good now. We had an issue with the weather report last week, and I tried to make some on-the-fly settings adjustments. Didn't work out. So we're just going to have to go with the default settings here. Sorry about that.
Well, thanks for fixing it. The last thing look, there's not much to say about that hat video other than the fact that we sold 15,000 of those hats last night, which is pretty crazy at $50 with $90 shipping and handling.
I think the wildest thing is when you texted me that, I was thrilled and I said, that's awesome. Then you said you were fucking pissed off because your goal was 25,000. I thought that was just an impressive sign of your leadership and vision.
Yeah, I mean, we made more off that hat than we did off of Bodogos. There was some guy. There were only 2 haters in response to the videos. One was saying these guys raise $700,000 with Bodogos and then sell this hat for this price. Everything on that end screen is fake, in case you're wondering what that looks like. By the way, the total number of hats that are genuinely available is 50. So that's the total quantity that we have available. And we'll be selling those all at Breakpoint. So if you're at Breakpoint, there will be one of the people who retweeted the tweet with the ad will be getting a free one of those hats. But it may be 55 hats, actually. Excuse me. So what the hell is going on with my desk?
While Nick's fixing his desk, Kicks, we're going to throw it over to you for the weather report whenever you are ready.
You got it. Let me know if this music comes in bad, and I'll just hit the back button. Here it is, Wednesday, the 25th of October. Market volume 12.4.
Look, it's not the music. It's you're yelling.
Okay.
You're just clipping the audio, basically. So, but you can keep the music on. Just you don't need to elevate the voice that much.
Let's try it. Welcome today, Wednesday, October 25th. The market volume coming in at $12.4 million, the highest recorded volume since August 22nd. Floor coming in at 8. OpenSea 3.4. Over to the market leaders. Looking at the leaders, we have Captains down 9% to 3.8. Azuki down 2%. And the other leaders are holding quite steady. Other movers include Moonbirds up 5% to 1.9 ETH. They're up 20%
want you to
in the
yell.
last 2 weeks. We also have Potatoes down 18%. Meebits down 12%. And Goblin Town up 22% to 0.2. Yay. Over the past 24 hours, Memeland announced that their meme presale would be happening on Thursday morning. It's Hong Kong time, not Eastern time, you Western colonizers. That should be later this evening. Each pre-sale spot will be able to purchase $300 of meme each. And there are 25,300 total pre-sale units available. Captains and Potatoes are both down on the news. That's unfortunate. And they were expecting to be able to purchase a higher amount. Lastly, there was a snapshot taken today at 11 p.m. Eastern for the fire sale. Although Memeland NFTs bought after the snapshot will still be eligible for the meme airdrop. So why did they snapshot? Not sure. Hytopia, formerly NFT Worlds, announced a $3 million raise led by Delphi Ventures. The capital will be used for Hytopia to continue to build out their gaming platform.
You can't just let it out.
In their layer 2 blockchain, the Hytopia NFT collection holds a 2.25 ETH floor at a 10K floor collection size. Bitcoin had a volatile day as BlackRock's ETF was temporarily deleted from the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, known as the DTCC, before getting relisted in the same day. What the hell happened over there? BlackRock was also charged by the SEC for failing to disclose investments from 2015 to 2019 and had to pay a $2.5 million fine. After the dust settled, Bitcoin is still above 34,000, up 20% in the last 7 days. Last but not least, Moonbirds are the winner of the day as the collection saw a 27.5 ETH sale on a glitch and a 12 ETH sale on a gold Moonbird, and the collection went up to a 2 ETH floor before pulling back to 1 ETH. In the last 30 days, art collectors' PFPs are up 50% as the lower caps continue to gain momentum. Back to you in the studio.
Hey, thanks for that, Kicks, and thanks for bringing back the yelling because apparently the YouTube commenters want that. Quick summary from the Daily Digest. Maestro, a meme coin trading bot, was exploited for $500,000 and announced they'll refund the affected users in ETH. I always wonder where those refunds come from. Like, after you get exploited and drained, where does that money magically reappear from?
Maestro earns a fee off of trades on the platform. So they do
Maestro
take
makes a ton in fees.
Okay.
And it wasn't their funds affected, it was users' funds, right? So they just paid it out of their own pocket.
If we make a mistake in our business, I'd like our VC investors to refund us the money so that we could get a second at bat. That would be a great opportunity.
You can have that conversation.
Blockchain-based game NFL Rivals reached 3 million players and revealed they're averaging 20,000 new players per day due to their partnership with the NFL during the season. Holy cow! Holy shnikey! Artist Ripcash sold a 4 ordinal collection power source for 5 BTC.
Yeah, it makes sense to me because obviously this is from the artist, that famous guy.
Wow. Well, thanks for that insight, Kicks. A Spirit Azuki sold for 115 ETH, highest Azuki sale since Elementals drop.
I don't believe it.
These things, some of these trades, they're showing up in Anon accounts out of nowhere after Azuki raised $40 million. I'm not connecting the dots. I'm just saying that, like, draw loosely with a pencil. Okay. A previously viral Web3 content creator, Elena, posted for the first time since early September and addressed her once controversial ordinal drop in her absence from Twitter. The summary is, hey, I've been gone. I've been studying, doing schoolwork, and I'm back. But I'm not going to be back in the same way that I was back before. So, but I am still back.
Kind of like back then you didn't want me. Now I'm on top. You don't want me. Kind of like that line.
something like that. Ben Armstrong, previously known as BitBoy Crypto, went viral for publicly announcing his divorce and new relationship with his mistress, who's also now the CEO of BenCoin, receiving over 3 million impressions on the tweet, tagging both his ex and his mistress in the tweet. Commenters, I would say unanimously, there was one supporter of all the replies that I saw. Everyone else was like, what the hell are you thinking?
Who's the one supporter? I'm super curious now who the one supporter is. Also, have you ever seen that famous picture where the couple's having a divorce and they're dividing up their Beanie Babies collection? I'm expecting the same thing to go down, except for his shitcoin bag. It's like, well, I don't, how much of the Ben token does she get? How much of Shibu Inu, Lamb Bukaki do you get? How does that go down in divorce court?
Dude, I think the whole situation there, Ben is not in his right mind. He's making some wild life decisions at this moment.
I didn't know you could get that methed out on pre-workout, because I've done a lot of pre-workout back in my early 20s, and I got the jitters, but geez Louise, I wasn't acting like that. I think that's diet pills, right?
Torch my relationship and go hook up with the younger.
What kind of diet pill do you think he's on?
Cocaine.
He's not giving me cocaine vibes. Definitely more diet, heart attack vibes.
More meth and speed style vibe to him. But anyways, wait. Are we really discussing the meme coin presale? Is that what we're discussing?
It's like the biggest news over the last 24 hours. We don't have to. We can take.
Sure we shouldn't be discussing flooring protocol? I think we should. No, but the meme coin situation. Yeah, let's discuss it. Pio,
I'm pissed about it. I'm pissed about the meme coin situation.
Hey, hold on.
I'm pissed.
I don't appreciate that we just.
I'm angry, Nick.
On the show before can you take that off, Pio? You can't. You're showing people the stuff before the grand reveal. What is going on here?
Hey, Nick. After we talk flooring protocol, can we talk fixed income bond yields?
Mm.
Yeah, I'm about as interested in that too.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I'd be interested in, annuities and annuity pricing is something that I'm personally interested in, and sort of derivative structures that we can build to cross-collateralize those assets.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yeah, the correlation between cattle futures and the price of Midwestern homes, I think, is also an interesting topic that not a lot of people cover. I'm
a big commodities guy. The current interest rate on corn that's going on, there's been a lot of storms in the Midwest, so the yield right now is actually going to cause the futures to run.
And if people eat less of that, we may actually see a correlation to gastrointestinal issues going down.
So long Pepsid?
Yeah, I would go with that.
Okay.
So. Well, this sounds like I appreciate your commentary on these things because it was really insightful. Let's discuss meme coin presale.
I'm pissed about it, Nick. I'm mad.
Why?
What happened?
The holders are supposed to get 69% of the token. This fire sale is only about 11%. It went from a much larger allocation you were supposed to be able to dump into it to only about $300 US for it. So there's a lot of trouble in paradise. The captain's floor price is back under 4. Your boy's back underwater. I'm not happy about it. It's just not a good time. The things that we were told are just not the things that are happening. And now we're in a situation where my meme token allocation is just not going to give me generational wealth. I should have sold the damn thing at 9.98. I didn't. I'm still bag holding. I'm a proud Meme Land community member now who just yells in the Discord now.
I don't understand so can someone give me a simple
TLDR?
logistic?
Yeah, TLDR. They came out with tokenomics. They said, we're going to give a bunch of these tokens in the fire sale to holders.
I understand that. I'm trying to understand one fundamental thing, which is who gets the tokens? Because I signed up and I got 300 or 400 tokens.
You got $300 US for 300,000 tokens.
So I got $300.
You have to put $300 in. You are seeding the liquidity pool.
Sorry, this is super confusing. So
okay, let's break this down as simple as possible. The way tokens work, you buy into a pre-sale. So before the tokens go live, You say, here's my money to you. All right?
That's not what happened. I signed up and it awarded me 300 tokens.
You still have to pay for those. So you see like this dollar right here?
Okay,
Yeah, you see this? You're going to throw it at meme land. All right? And then you're going to take a second one and throw it at meme land.
Let's
then
give the audience some information.
So what you have to pay $300 and then you get the tokens, right? So you pay them. You have the right to give $300 to pay for these tokens.
And what did you get for owning a captain's?
You get a variety of these tokens in meme land presale. So you actually have multiple codes that you can give out or claim across wallets. That's the big thing. You have multiple codes that you can disperse or give to people. And then you also get an airdrop if you own a captain. So you also get free tokens on top of the ones that you can buy in the fire sale. Right now, what's happening is the fire sale, not the airdrop.
Do you know how many tokens you're going to get for owning a captain's and what the value of that is?
We do not. Not right now. They supposedly it's still that 69% of tokenomics. 11% is going to the fire sale, but we don't have exact amounts.
Clemente, you got your hand raised?
Yeah. Another thing that's worth noting is that in an hour and a half, so 11 a.m. Eastern time, there's going to be a snapshot for captains and potatoes for this pre-sale. So they're actually going, and then the pre-sale is going to happen later this evening, Hong Kong morning time for Thursday. It'll be later tonight. And so you can expect a lot of price volatility with captains, even though they're already down 10% in the last 24 hours, because people were expecting to be able to pay more or get a larger allocation. But the team was like, dude, we're literally asking for less money and we're getting fudded. So that was part of the controversy around it, Nick.
How much money are they raising as part of this?
$7.9 million.
Should have went with 6.9.
This is quite an interesting structure because there's no other token that I've seen, token technology, which has, I haven't seen anybody like, remember SOS token? That was one of the pumps that we were using. I was looking at one of the pump clips. That clip that we have is actually from SOS token when we all just got airdrop money. That was
airdrops are done. Airdrops are gone. No one's seeding their own liquidity pools anymore. All meme tokens do a pre-sale to what they call KOLs, key opinion leaders, fancy word for influencers. And they basically get them to give them a bunch of money up front, airdrop them a metric ton of tokens, seed the liquidity pool. And most of the time they give them a vesting schedule, but it's always a terribly designed vesting schedule. So you're seeing a lot of liquidity stemming from pre-sales right now, which isn't terribly surprising to me.
I mean, this is a ridiculous situation. And I now understand why it's not bullish for them.
It's a little too confusing for me. I like a simple
click, claim,
layout.
get coins. That's the best method.
Yeah, I mean, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to
raise money.
Yeah. But it's also because they're most likely going to have to get listed on Binance and all this other stuff. So they're going to have to pay out of pocket for a lot of these tokens, which like you have to give them tokens to seed pools. They don't, a lot of these markets and market makers don't buy them. They just get them to seed their own books to drive volume up. But as a proud meme land community member now, former flipper, I'm not happy about the situation. I wanted to just make money, make cash, and I bag held. So now, like I said, I'm just one of those people who goes in the Discord and just says when.
But why are you not happy about it, Easy? I mean, I get the $300, but do you like, I'm assuming there's also going to be maps playing into it. I'm assuming you're going to make money right off the gate off that $300 plus the airdrop, or are you planning on selling your captains right after the snapshot's taken?
Because I don't think I'm going to get 10 ETH equivalent any longer of what this trade was, where I said I should have sold at 10. My entire plan here was buy at 4 and change, sell at 10. I fumbled the bag. And now I think I'm going to get closer to 5.
It's okay. Your Solana profits will more than offset that. Yeah, fun fact about the meme land thing. They're doing an interesting growth hacking kind of strategy, right? Clemente, I think you're aware of this, right? Like where you sign up and you have all these different things you can do to get more points. Because I thought I was getting attacked. You know, sometimes you tweet on Twitter and then like a bunch of people from like a shitcoin attack you. Because I saw all these people with these hearts in their Twitter bio replying to me. I'm like, what's going on here? And then I was like, oh, it says love Memecoin. It's part of their marketing strategy. So I thought that was kind of cool. There's a lot of people on the timeline with love Memecoin in their Twitter handle. So some good growth hacking there. Got to give props for that for sure.
Nick, I'm curious what you think about it. So they've each of their accounts, we have Memeland, Memecoin, and Ray 9gag CEO's Twitter account, have each gained 400,000 followers each on Twitter. It's absurd. And you see people constantly tweeting about Memecoin. I'm very curious of if you think how many of those are real people versus just straight up bots.
Well, I think, well, I have no idea how many of them are bots. The thing that we saw a similar thing happen with Digi Daigaku and Gabe Layden's account when they were dropping the dragons and the Super Bowl thing was coming up. And so there was a lot of action there. People in this space are absolutely ruthless with trying to collect $50 to a couple $100. That they will do anything in order to get a couple $100, basically. And so what that incentivizes a lot of different things. But we see a lot of numbers where there's suddenly hundreds of thousands of people who are, quote, active in the space. I just don't know. I will say on the crypto side, though, it seems more reasonable that there could be like 1 million people participating right now. I don't know how many wallets how many people are trading Bitcoin at the moment, but my guess is it's like in the millions in contrast to NFTs, which are in the single digit thousands. Maybe we're up to double digit thousands right now, but generally the coin side does tend to drive more demand. I think there will be a lot of people who do participate here, and there is, in theory, a play to be made. I just don't know, like, where do you get the price pump action on these sort of tokens? And with this sort of structure of a drop, it's like pretty complicated, and they're raising money. And so like suddenly we're all, well, there's a couple of things. One, you could view this as a positive catalyst in the fact that people have to pay money to get the tokens, and the fact that they're not just going to immediately going to dump it. Whereas like someone who gets airdrop tokens, you have a decision as to whether or not you want to just like have that money and go make a bunch at whatever, even if it's not at a high price. Whereas when you buy it yourself, you need at least that floor to exist. I don't know what the release time is. You were saying KOLs. We spoke with a company the other day who used that on there, and I had to like Google KOLs. Key opinion leader is essentially thought leader replacement. It's like the international term for
influencer
thought leaders. I would actually say, and some of those people tend to be influencers. But yeah,
I lead thoughts.
I tend to be a leader of thoughts. Many people follow me for rap music, infomercials, other things like that to be informed, and so that is key.
So I have a quick question for you, Easy. What do you expect?
Can you respond to my text? Thanks.
Yeah, Easy. First thing, what do you expect prediction wise the market cap of Memecoin to be after the airdrop, after the fire sales completed? Hundreds of millions, or in the
hundreds of millions?
And then what do you expect to do with captains after this airdrop? Like, what's your play with that, given that you have over almost 4 ETH locked up in that?
Yeah, I expect that to become like closer to 1 ETH, and I'll still be stuck just holding it inevitably. At this point, my tax write-off is just going to be electric.
Phenomenal, man. Yeah, you won't be paying taxes for years. Yeah, so if they're doing 7.9 on 11%, you could just pretend that's 10%, right? And then 10 exits, so they're looking for an $80 million market cap. Interesting.
If you're nodding Easy, that doesn't help the listeners. I just want to let you know that.
Yes, I'm anticipating that Kix's math is correct, and your boy's going to be underwater. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
It's going to be an ex-dividend position with that. Who else gets airdrops? So it sounds like KOLs and captains holders are the two people that are being airdropped.
Yes. Yes. Potatoes too.
Okay, so potato and can those people immediately liquidate?
I'd have to double check. That's something I'm not sure.
They got a lot of locked positions. That's another thing I remember when I was like reading through their layout. Like a lot of the airdrop stuff is like locked up, which is like, definitely smart from a short-term price protection strategy, I guess.
So let's dive into the next subject, which is the low cap NFT comeback. There's a lot of juicy stuff here. We were looking at Moonbirds at 1 ETH essentially, and that felt like a potential opportunity. What are people's thoughts right now on this front? Well, actually, it's from 1.25 up to 2, but Kicks, do you still own your Moonbird?
100%. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You bought that at what, 25 grand?
33, but I mean, who's
$33,000, and now it's down at 2,200.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So okay, so I mean that's like only a 99% loss, something like that, right?
Yeah, it's in the top 3, top 4 USDC loss, up there with PXN. Forgetting about one other.
So the real question, so it looks like a 87% drop. Clemente, looked like you wanted to say something, but the action that we're seeing is from Moonbirds, Doodles, CloneX, Oniforce, with Doodles actually showing the most upside. What's the price of Doodles at right now, Clemente?
1.4 last time I checked.
I mean, this is
1.6. They're at 1.6. Wow.
So here's some interesting action. I think that side of the market is potentially the best place to be operating right now. How did Bored Apes did they pump similarly, or are they sort of flat?
It was like a 3.5% move when they got added to Flooring Protocol. Now basically back down to where they were. I agree. I think the mid cap target area is what becomes most interesting. I look at something like an Oniforce, which is not yet listed, seeing some positive price action. Obviously, Moonbirds, Doodles, CloneX, all getting some really solid price action in the 25-30% range. So I think that's interesting to me. And then of course, things that are under 0.2 is where I'm like really targeting, is that like 1 to 1.5 and 0.2 area.
So real quick, just to clarify, Easy, part of the reason why these are pumping right now is because Flooring Protocol bought a bunch of them to seed their platform, essentially.
I think so.
But
yeah,
but the thing that I don't understand is they swept a certain amount, and the pump has continued since then, which is what I don't understand. And Moonbirds weren't listed as bought by Flooring Protocol yet.
So what's confusing about that, when floors get swept, the price has a moment of continuation, like for at least where other people try and ape into that pump like that. I feel like that's a pretty common thing, and those are the people that get wrecked. And then they call us up and they say, yo, why were you hosting a space saying that Cool Cats was acquired by Bored Ape when it wasn't? I just got wrecked on that trade. Like that's,
and then Cool Cats got acquired,
and then they got acquired, but the price went down.
Yep.
So what do you, Clemente, do you think do you think it is strange that the price is actually going up?
What I don't know, my guess, and this is very elementary, is possibly that people, when Doodles, for example, gets added to the Flooring Protocol platform, people then go buy Doodles to put it into the platform to buy, I think it's to farm that protocol token. Correct.
It's an arbitrage opportunity too, is the bigger thing. Like what happens a lot of the time with that is there's an opportunity where the math is not mathing, if you will, where you can actually make money on the floor price on Flooring Protocol versus the floor price on Blur or OpenSea. And that's where you end up getting a lot of that arbitrage opportunity where people are looking to identify, where can I make some cash on this? And that's what you actually saw like Cirrus did. He ended up diving in and making, I think it was like 4 ETH on a Bored Ape, that he was just going back and forth flooring and buying and exiting and entering. And
that sounds like an efficient market.
No, this reminds me of Blur and the same nonsense that happened there.
Different this time because there's a new token you can find.
Yeah, no, I get that.
You don't flood this, dude. Okay, this is different technology. Okay, we put a U before the ticker symbol, and you can buy up and sell into the actual tokens, and anybody can get in now without having to buy a call option. Right? You can just buy a token. Tell your buddy, hey, you want a Bored Ape? Buy a token. Okay, you understand that?
Did you go and read the 800-page PhD thesis on how this math adds up and that you're going to end up making a fortune, Kicks?
Ran it right through Chat GPT, gave me a thumbs up.
Interesting. So yeah, this whole space, I mean, it is interesting to see the meme land side of things corresponding with the Flooring Protocol, and all of these being just, I tend to take a more aggressive position on this and them all being just an absolute joke. Like there is money to be made, but there's money to be made. Like you could go clean sewage if you wanted. Like why not do that? And you'd probably make more money actually having a real job, you know, pumping, what do you call those?
But Nick, cleaning shit is not as much fun as trading shit coins. Like, yes, semantics, but like, there's still both a good time.
I mean, if there's one thing that I'm interested in trading here, it would probably be Pepe, to be completely honest. Like, the question that I have is, do we expect a little bit of a pullback here after this pump? And I like Kix's earlier technical analysis where we were correlating it back to, when was that, 2019, Kix? Yeah. When we saw Bitcoin go up and then it came back.
Top of the B bands, back to the middle.
Yeah, so it came back at least 50%. I am interested in that 50% retrade. I hope that it's a repeat of that situation because that gives you another opportunity to buy in here. But yeah, like there's a multiple cohorts of traders within the NFT space, within the shitcoin space, within the crypto space, and it's difficult trying to make something that accounts holistically for all those people, like content that accounts for all of them, which is why I end up making an infomercial about a hat, right? Is because let's break down some of those sub segments. There's 10 people that are farming on Blur and flooring protocol. So that's 10 people that are accounting for 90% of volume in the NFT market, but it's not real volume. Like they're just trading amongst each other to come up with a new form of financial like calculus, which they can go and argue the thesis of so that more people ape into it and try and make money. So those are the people that are doing financial calculus off of NFTs, which is a ludicrous position to be in, primarily when it has to do with like PFP images and like the PFP projects doing derivative financials, like financial calculus, just doesn't make sense in my mind. Then we move up the chain to people who are just aping into meme coins. I'm very interested in that category because it's very simple. So, like, there's nothing to do. It's like, is there a community? Do I like the vibes? Yeah.
Do they post memes?
Yeah, like, K-Money posted a tweet like that, which was like his thesis on meme coins, and it was super basic. I like the vibes. I like that approach, and you're there for the community and to make the price go pump, and that's way simpler. And
you like the vibes a lot more if you get really rich off them, right? So
yes, so those are the people that are looking for 100x returns, and because it'll be life changing for anyone that makes 100x returns. And then you have like the rich, basically, or the people who are at least have, you know, over $1 million at least, that they're sitting there and they're like, look, if I get a 4x on $1 million, I now have $4 million. That's a huge win. So they don't need to go play the meme coin thing, or if they do, they'll put a small amount. They'll have a diversified portfolio with a small amount, and they don't need to go and monitor it on the daily to figure out what's going on. So these moves like doodles and everything else, to me, is more validation for that category that, hey, when this market does turn around, there's going to be demand operating within this space. And so I'm wondering, what is that B tier portfolio that we're interested in? Because I know on the A tier, or a lot of people say S tier, I guess, would be the CryptoPunks. To me is S tier. I think you have, what does that even stand for in that?
Superior.
Okay. And then it's just graded A, B, C, D.
Mm-hmm.
So I see CryptoPunks, I see Chromie Squiggles, I see Fidenzas, I see other things like that at that level. So then what comes down in this maybe like B tier, where you're looking at like doodles, and I don't mean that in a demeaning way.
Price point wise.
Yeah,
like between that 1 and 1.3 area, I think is like a golden pocket, if you will, of potential moves. I mean, dude, I like your crypto personally. I look at that thing and I'm like, damn, Nick still holds one of those. That feels good underneath. And I'm like, because if anything can move, like that's technically art. It's Gremplin, and people love that. It's got like a cult community. It's like it fits the meme coin style of like an NFT project. That one's really interesting to me. I think Oni Force is still really interesting, of course, because like they haven't got an announcement. Buyout, have no major news so far. That's in that sub 1 area.
No, they did have a buyout.
That's what I said, but no news post buyout. They had the buyout, and now it's like, what are they going to iterate on?
You know, the reality is it's quite difficult after that point. And I had a call with a project owner yesterday. I'm not going to name them, but I have mentioned them on the show in the past 2 shows.
Sup, Ducks?
No, I'm not going to say. And I was chatting with them because I wanted to do a short interview, essentially, to discuss what was going on and document the progress that they were making. And essentially, the guy was like, I mentioned, I was like, hey, NFT holders like seeing updates and things like that. And the guy was like, to be honest, we don't really care about that. We're just focused on executing and building this thing that we're about to deliver. And I was like, damn. And part of me was like, respect. I respect this. This is as good as it gets. Like, he's telling the holders, shut your damn mouth and just wait. Okay? And you guys go create the narrative. There was someone that came as a comment that was like, first you guys go, something about the bodagos associated with the hat, and was hating on it. And he was like, so what are you doing to make the floor price go up? And I suddenly realized, I was like, no. That's not my job. That's your job.
Well, that was about the portal. He posted about the portal. He's like, what does it do for the portal? And you were like, you have the power to make the portal go up. I was like, I love that answer. I love that answer.
I think he was trolling too.
But legitimately, as I think about it, I think that actually is the truth, because what happened with like DGods, for example, it literally is the community that's going in and buying these things and making the price go up. So it's not what are developers doing. It's what are the holders doing to show their support and their conviction in the project. And that is an obligation of you all without us doing anything, basically, because that's what, DGods and a lot of these other projects were doing, was basically nothing. And they were making a lot of content, which is what we're doing. And so it's on you holders to make the price go up. That's like, that's ultimately the obligation. Yeah.
You're empowering the people.
Well, you need to give them something to be excited about or to be looking for. There needs to be that journey where like there's that overarching goal and how they can
remember Meebits and the narrative that the community created around that forced the floor price to eventually see some accumulation and appreciation. That was solely a result of narratives created within the community.
Yeah, so didn't they say that they were going to be like Mars, like VR activated kind of clone suits or something like that?
Well, I remember there being a narrative that Meebits were going to create a metaverse, which was
well, it looks like they're getting a little mini one on the other side. But Nick, I wanted to push back just a little bit on where you were comparing shitcoins to like the low cap NFTs, and you were basically saying like, oh, that's why I'd put some money in the B tier. If you look at the shit like shitcoins, like what's pumping? It's Pepe pumping, not Doge, right? It's Bitcoin, Obama, Shiba Inu, Sonic pumping, not Shiba Inu. You know what I mean? So it's the new shit coins of this cycle that are seeing the outsized move in the interest and the activity. So my point being, I agree with you in terms of that range that you're looking at, but I think on the NFT side, it's going to be the new projects of the new cycle that get the outsized gains, and people that are sitting with a basket of doodles and moonbirds and clone X's, yada, yada, yada. They may get some of a zippy up, but they ain't going to get that, oh, baby.
And you're looking for that, oh, baby.
I'm looking for that, oh, baby, where you feel it deep down in your plums. You feel that tension in the air. It's getting all hot and sweating.
You want to get that.
Not to the farmer's pocket.
So I will say there's a very, very quick thing. I just want to tie the knot on the moonbirds conversation. I think part of my thesis with these B tier collections that are down 95% is that there's basically the people that are left right now, and Kicks, I want to throw to you, is that these people were fine holding it to zero, basically, right? And I think as if there is a price appreciation, there's people that are down like Kicks so much that they're like, dude, 1 ETH versus 2 ETH, I'm just going to hold this thing in case it makes a comeback. Like Kicks, with Moonbirds at 2 ETH, are you considering selling that right now? Or what's your game plan with that if it hypothetically pumps again?
Yeah, like, well, first of all, I'm not like fine losing the money. I could use that $33,000. You know, I got to put that into some crypto or get buy some real life thing with that. But you know, you got to take your losses on the chin, right? And I have a decent chin. I've taken some punches in my life, so yeah, down at 2 ETH, I'm looking at it like, hey, that's either a hell of a tax loss harvest, or as you said, it's going to rebound up. But yeah, 100%. Like it's down. I bought it at 24 ETH. It's down at 2 ETH. I don't give a shit if it's at 1 ETH. I'm not going to sell if it's at 3 ETH. I'm not going to sell it if it's at 4 ETH. You know, maybe I sell it there, you know, 10 ETH. Okay, buddy.
So
maybe I sell it there, but
it sounds like you have a clear plan, Kick. So that's informative.
I also have to talk to my accountant because I think we tried to do some accounting things with the Moonbird. So I'll have to talk to him about that.
Bunny, you got your hand raised.
Yeah, the more you guys are talking, the more it makes me want to buy MOG, right? Because MOG's just about wearing pit vipers, right? Ripping a heater and just sitting back and watching the chart go up. And that's what you guys are I feel like you guys are shilling MOG to me.
Hey, Bunny, I know you're close with the MOG guys probably. So you said pit vipers or whatever. You know, you guys should really make the face of MOG Kenny fucking Powers.
My question is, how much MOG do you own, Bunny?
I don't own any MOG. I had to sell my MOG when Easy lost. I bet the house on Easy versus ThreadGuy. So I sold my MOG pre-pump to pay out the bets I lost on Easy.
Easy came out confident. You see where ThreadGuy ranked you yesterday?
Yeah, I've texted him and I said that was disrespectful, and he said, "Yeah."
He said,
where was he ranked?
He was ranked 4
behind Frank D Gods, which is just disrespectful, and Sonny Mans, and then himself.
So yeah, he ranked himself as number 1. He put Easy as number 4. And I think, to be fair, it was because it was based on what's been shown so far. And from that standpoint, Easy, maybe this is an opportunity for you. You know, you've taken it seriously. I saw you tweet that you haven't drank in 3 months, that you're at the gym, you're eating
I'm down
healthy.
17 pounds.
Dude, I mean, keep the training going. What's your target? How many pounds are you trying to be down?
30.
30 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that ends up being a key factor. Your agility is going to increase significantly by reducing 30 pounds. In fact, I like to.
Well, Nick, it was that his agility was at 0, so it can only go up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It was. Did you work out before you played that game? Was there some?
I was only playing basketball like twice a week.
No.
Now I'm riding a bike 10 miles a day. I'm eating 15 to 1,800 calories, counting every single one, tracking my macros, no processed carbs, no sugar. Well, fruit is sugar, so no artificial sugar, no sweets. And I got the worst sweet tooth in the world, so that's been the hardest part for me. We're eating sugar-free barbecue sauce with stuff that's 10 calories. I'm weighing out my tablespoons of it. I'm going all in. Like, this has been a ton. 64 ounces of water a day, 8 hours of sleep. Like I said, we're on a routine here. We're on a routine. It's been 7 weeks, almost 8 weeks since I've even had a drop of alcohol.
Well, easy. Parasites and also tumor cells you eat off of sugar. That's how they like metabolize. So by cutting that out, you're pretty much probably parasite and tumor free. So you can add that on your weight loss.
So, congratulations on that, Easy. I wanted to hit one more subject before we wrap here. Is it safe to call the death of FriendTech? Yesterday, FriendTech recorded 9.2 million in trading volume. Well, then it's not dead inherently. I believe that's more than the NFT market.
Well, keep going.
Yeah. 7.8 million of that was people selling their keys. Holy shit. Oh my God. People just dumping, pulling out. Has the music finally stopped for FriendTech? Do you think the founder and team continues to build the product from here? No, well, I already said that they were going to rug, by the way. So like I called that a while ago. Is this the biggest
fucking rug?
What's that?
They're not going to fucking rug, man.
What are you talking about? Of course they are. They're an anonymous team. They're just going to disappear with the money that they
This
made.
isn't their like first project. They're like pretty well known in the space. They got it invested in by Paradigm. They're going to be fine. They're going to keep building this thing.
Zuki's well known also, but what the hell have they done?
No comment. So the but no, like here's the thing with the whole FriendTech thing. Okay, so this is just 3-3 unwinding, right? Which is when people say 3-3, right? It's like a Nash equilibrium thing. It means like if I buy and you buy, we both make money, right?
These people never saw the Ohm fork situation, which is where 3-3 came from, which is prisoner's dilemma. As soon as the first person gets out, you just want to be the first person to defect. If you're the only one who defects, you win. We just saw Vombatis sell 815 ETH of his own keys. The largest 3-3 participant get the hell out. $1.5 million in his pocket. He's gone. So now everyone's like, shit, I'm not going to be the last one holding the bag, which is the same thing Ohm was known for, where if you buy Ohm, I buy Ohm. I match your buy, you match my buy. Shit, you sold Ohm. I'm now way overexposed, and this 100,000% APY is only giving me 3%. I'm better off getting a savings account.
Thanks for that, Kix. So, was there something you wanted to add there?
I agree with Easy. Like this is just the 3-3, kind of Ponzi unwinding, but I think that the underlying FriendTech, like their app continues to improve. Like they did a big UI update like a week or two ago. It looks really good. They have a ton of money in their war chest right now for them to continue to innovate with SocialFi stuff. The problem with a lot of people in the market is that they react they react to the trends, meaning like they're freaking out in selling right now at the bottom, right? And they weren't buying at the previous bottom, and they were probably buying at the previous top, right? Like most people's minds are inverted. So when we see this sell-off, we're like, oh, FriendTech's dead. It's probably where the smart people wait for it to flush out and then like come back in and continue to experiment it with. So I certainly don't think FriendTech's dead. I certainly don't think the team is going anywhere. But this just goes back to when did FriendTech launch? I keep saying French Tech, which would be a cool app as well.
Mid-August, Kicks.
Mid-August. Is that 3 months ago? Yeah, that's 3 months ago. Basically, in NFTs and crypto, it's very hard to be in the spotlight for more than 3 months, right? So a lot of these things, like after a couple of months, they're just going to get out. It's all an attention economy. So FriendTech's out of the attention economy. Things are bottoming out. Still play around with it. Wait for some interesting stuff to happen. If they're a good team, which they seem to be, they're going to launch new features or new things, and they'll probably be back on top again.
But does anyone care about the features literally at all? Or do they just care about making money, which is that's
a great question.
I was thinking about, right? Like everyone's moving now to New Bitcoin City, which is literally the same thing except on Bitcoin because there's a higher probability of making money there. So I think Racer is in a pretty difficult position because he most likely he might never hit that level of usage on the platform ever again.
But here's the thing that you got to put in his court, Clemente. He invented this entire vertical, that social arena and Bitcoin City or whatever. None of those things would have existed if FriendTech didn't come out, because all of those other people are copycats. So do you want to bet on the copycat, or do you want to bet on the guy that created the vertical?
Well, I'd rather bet on the copycat because Facebook beat out Friendster and MySpace. So I'd actually
funded by the CIA though. Like if you're funded by the CIA, you're probably not going to lose.
I don't think that was the motivating factor of their success.
Maybe we'll see.
Well, the CIA has had a bunch of mistakes as well. I don't know if you know about a lot of those historical errors that they
did that thing with those goats. Don't forget.
Well, that's it for today's episode. Appreciate everyone joining. Always enjoy having Kicks on the show. And we'll see you back here tomorrow